sometimes when I read the Bible, it's got meaning and purpose in it that I can see that helps me to kind of think out of the box a little bit with my problems. It's almost like it's a message to me individually. So, one of the stories in the Bible that I want to share with you is the story of when Joshua was crossing over the Jordan River. Now, I'm just going to not give you the exact details, but I'm just going to kind of narrow it down and summarize the story for you. Basically, he was told to cross over the Jordan River, and the Jordan River was at flood stage. Now, I have been around a river at flood stage. I don't know if you've seen it that way, but I have. The river is very loud, it's very dramatic, and it's yanking things away along the shore, and it looks extremely scary. And the speed that it's going, you know, when you look at it, that if you step into it, it's just going to sweep you away. So I can only imagine the fear that Joshua must have felt when he went up and he looked at that river. The natural human instinct in me would have said, no, no, this ain't happening. I'm not going over that river. I will die. Or at the very best, I would have sat back and tried to figure out some kind of genius plan to get across that river without it sweeping me away. But that's not what Joshua did. It says that Joshua, as soon as he put his sandal in the water stopped. And he walked across that dry riverbed. And in the middle of that riverbed, he put a stone there to mark as a memorial of when that river parted. And he went off on the journey for the promised land. Now, see, here's what's significant to me about that story that you might read, you might just kind of glaze over it. But it says in there, it says the waters were held back at Edom, and some translations say Adam. They were held up in a heap. So I'm going to show you where that verse is. So here's that verse. It says, the water from the upstream stopped flowing. It piled up in a heap a great distance away at a town called Adam in the vicinity of Zarethan, while the water flowing down to the sea of Arabah, that is the Dead Sea, was completely cut off, so the people crossed over opposite Jericho. Now, let's just add Linda's version to that. So, now that you saw the actual text, here's my version of that. A farmer one day is outside and he has just cut a log, and the log is getting ready to fall, and he's going to use that log to build himself a new barn. Well, he's got this annoying cow named Betsy, and this annoying cow goes over and bumps this tree and makes this tree fall not in the direction that he had planned, but now it fell down in the Jordan River. And this Jordan River gets backed up and held up at that point because of this tree that fell in the river. The farmer is just livid. He's so mad at this cow that he's ready to turn this cow into hamburger. He can't even take it anymore. This cow is constantly doing stuff, and now he can't build a barn, and worse yet, his property is now flooded because of this rebellious monkeying around cow that he has. He curses the cow. He goes back to the drawing board. He has to clean up this flood, and he has all this mess now. So this is where I get that piece at. Unbeknownst to that farmer, that cow had a much bigger purpose, and that tree had a much bigger purpose. That tree was supposed to fall in the Jordan River to hold the waters up so Joshua could cross over. And the vision of the Lord and the direction that God had for his people would come to pass because of that cow. The farmer didn't know, and the cow didn't know that upstream from them that there was a chain reaction that was going on. They were minding their own business, tending to their farm, and this tree falls. And it falls in the wrong direction in the river, and because it falls in the river, now the river is now the river is able to be passed over downstream. Sometimes in life, things happen to us, and there's a much, much greater picture and a much bigger thing going on than what we know right now. Sometimes we won't get the job that we wanted. And what we don't know is that that tree in our life didn't fall the way that we wanted to, because downstream from us, there is a much bigger thing that's meant to happen in our life. Sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to and the way that we plan them. But if you really want to be honest with yourself and really look back in your life right now and really think about it, you're going to see those moments in your life where things didn't go as you wanted, as you thought, as you wished, as you prayed. But something greater happened. There's that song, that country song that says, I thank God for unanswered prayers. And that's a good example. Maybe you had a high school sweetheart that you wanted back and you prayed and prayed. You never got back with them. Your heart was broken. You were devastated, and you were this 16-year-old at the time thinking your life was totally over. And now here you are married to this wonderful person. You didn't know that later on in life that was going to happen. Sometimes things happen to us and we're unaware of the impact that it has in our life and what greater things are gonna happen as a result. And why am I telling you this? Because maybe right now something in your life hasn't went the right way. Maybe, metaphorically, a tree has fallen because your stupid cow wouldn't stay where it was supposed to. Maybe. And maybe instead of getting worked up, and maybe instead of thinking that your life is over, that you can never function anymore, or that things never go your way, or that this is going to bring you great hardship, maybe you should think about that Bible verse and wonder, what cow is kicking over a tree for you? What greater thing is happening up the stream from you that's going to open up something much greater? I tell people all the time, we didn't meet by happen chance. My life was disrupted. I was taken from this job. I was taken from this home. I was taken from this church or this friendship, all for you. And when they hear me say that, it really means something significant. But that's how purposeful God can be in your life. Purposeful enough to make a cow kick over a tree and flood an entire farm so you can cross over. So start looking at life through the eyes of possibility instead of the eyes of everything that's went wrong.